What's up, everybody? Welcome back to those of you that are returning, and welcome to those of you that are here for the first time. Today we'll be reading Mark chapter 7. I'm reading from the NLT, the New Living Translation, also referencing to the Geneva Bible, the 1560 edition. Without further ado, let's dive in. Mark chapter 7. One day some Pharisees and teachers of religious law arrived from Jerusalem to confront Jesus. They noticed that some of Jesus' disciples failed to follow the usual Jewish ritual of hand washing before eating. The Jews, especially the Pharisees, do not eat until they have poured water over their cupped hands, as required by their ancient traditions. Similarly, they eat nothing bought from the market unless they have immersed their hands in water. This is but one of many traditions they have clung to, such as their ceremony of washing cups, pitchers, and kettles. So the Pharisees and teachers of religious law asked him, "Why don't your disciples follow our age-old customs? For they eat without first performing the hand-washing ceremony." Jesus replied, "You hypocrites! Isaiah was prophesying about you when he said, 'These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far away. Their worship is a farce, for they replace God's commands with their own man-made teachings. For you ignore God's specific laws and substitute your own traditions.'" Then he said, "You reject God's law in order to hold on to your own traditions. For instance, Moses gave you this law from God: honor your father and mother, and anyone who speaks evil of father or mother must be put to death." So in this translation it says speaks evil. In the older translation it says if anybody is to curse their father or mother. Remember, we kind of had that whole entire discussion about cursing and the spiritual realm and how real and true all of that is. Anyways, let's continue. "But you say it is all right for people to say to their parents, 'Sorry, I can't help you, for I have vowed to give to God what I could have given to you,' and let them disregard their needy parents. As such, you break the law of God in order to protect your own tradition. And this is only one example. There are many, many others." So in this book, I try to read it, but the Old English is so difficult to read, and I honestly did not want to sit there and go on Google and figure out what each word means when they were saying, pretty much instead of giving to your parents if they need some help, right? And be like, "Oh, sorry, I can't help you, Mom and Dad. I said I was going to give, this money or whatever to the church or to God." He says, help them first, obviously, like those are your parents. Then Jesus called to the crowd to come and hear. "All of you listen," he said, "and try to understand. You're not defiled by what you eat. You're defiled by what you say and do." And then this is Mark chapter 7, verse 16. Verse 16 is left out from this translation. From here it goes straight from 15 to 17. So I'll read verse 16 to you from here. And all it is it says, "If any have ears to hear, let him hear." That's it. That's verse 16. All right, let's continue. "Then Jesus went into the house to get away from the crowds, and his disciples asked him what he meant by the statements he had made. 'Don't you understand either?' he asked. 'Can't you see that what you eat won't defile you? Food doesn't come in contact with your heart, but only passes through the stomach and then comes out again.' By saying this, he showed that every kind of food is acceptable." Because Jews back in the day, and I mean still to this day, Jews, Muslims, some other traditions, right? They don't eat certain types of foods. Pig is being one of the most famous ones. Muslims don't eat it, don't eat any pork products. The Jews don't eat any pork products. And there was other type of animals and creatures that were not allowed to be eaten according to the Old Testament. And then he added, "It is the thought life that defiles you. For from within, out of person's heart, comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, eagerness for lustful pleasures, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these vile things come from within. They are what defile you and make you unacceptable to God." All right, so I want to read that one more time, because a lot of the people and all these the new super spiritual or super awoke people, I don't know, new day, new era, whatever, they always say, like, listen to your heart, so on and so forth. Here it says your heart will deceive you. right? Jesus said that throughout the scriptures that your heart will deceive you, right? It says, for from within, out of a person's heart, comes evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, eagerness for lustful pleasures, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All right, so eagerness for lustful pleasures. So I don't think that only is in reference to sexual immorality, because he already mentions that, right? Sexual immorality and adultery. I think what he means by eagerness for lustful pleasures is whenever you're lusting or coveting over something else, right? Something that somebody else has and you want it, so you go and steal it, or you go and do something behind people's back. Pretty much like just deceitful type of, bad things because you want it so bad, right? I believe, at least in my understanding, that's what he's trying to say here with that. All right, let's continue. The faith of a Gentile woman. So this one is pretty rough. Like, some people are like, man, that's kind of harsh the way that he treats her, but it's to show a point that he came here for all of us, right? In the beginning, he came, yes, for the Jews, but by him coming, he opens up the door for all the Gentiles, all the people that are not Jewish. So this is kind of like a hard or hard conversation, and like I said, some people brought it up to me, why was he so harsh to this woman? But I will explain it. Then Jesus left Galilee and went north to the region of Tyre. He tried to keep it secret that he was there, but he couldn't. As usual, the news of his arrival spread fast. Right away, a woman came to him whose little girl was possessed by an evil spirit. She had heard about Jesus, and now she came and fell at his feet. She begged him to release her child from the demon's control. Since she was a Gentile, born in the Syrian Phoenicia, so here it says Syrian Phoenicia, not exactly sure if I'm saying that correctly. In this one, it says, and the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation. So, there's that. Jesus told her, first, I should help my own family, the Jews. It isn't right to take food from the children and throw to the dogs. Right? Gets a little tough to hear and to kind of, think about this. She replied, that's true, Lord, but even the dogs under the table are given some crumbs from the children's plates. Good answer, he said, and because you have answered so well, I have healed your daughter. And when she arrived home, her little girl was lying quietly in bed, and the demon was gone. So here again, he's saying that, look, you're not of Jewish descent. I came here to my promised people, to the people of Israel, to the Jews, right? It wouldn't be right for me to take away from them right now to help the Gentiles, right? But with her faith, Jesus is showing, right, through her faith, in the other translation it says, you have such great faith, woman, go, your child is healed. And here he's telling her, like, that is a good answer, your child is healed, right? But he's saying it's not right for me to take away from my children right now and to give to you. But she says, even people that are not your children, even they get a little bit of the crumbs that fall from your children's plates. And he's like, wow, you have pretty amazing faith. Like, yes, your child is healed. So he's, again, healing somebody that's not a Jew, a Gentile, and pretty much opening the door up for salvation, not just for the Jews, but also for the Gentiles. Again, Gentiles are people like me and you, most likely, people that are not Jewish. So Jesus heals a deaf and mute man. Jesus left Tyre and went to Sidon, then came back to the Sea of Galilee and the region of 10 towns. We talked about the 10 towns. That's where the demon-possessed man that had the legion of demons in him, when he went to the 10 towns to declare what happened to him. A deaf man with a speech impediment was brought to him, and the people begged Jesus to lay his hands on the man to heal him. Jesus led him to a private place away from the crowd. He put his fingers into the man's ears. Then, spitting onto his own fingers, he touched the man's tongue with the spittle, and looked up to heaven. He sighed and commanded, "Be opened." Instantly the man could hear perfectly and speak plainly. Jesus told the crowd not to tell anyone, but the more he told them not to, the more they spread the news. For they were completely amazed. Again and again they said, "Everything he does is wonderful. He even heals those who are deaf and mute." So don't ask me to really explain this. I don't understand. I try to read in the subsections of why he had to put his fingers in the man's ear and then spit on his fingers in order to touch his tongue. I'm not sure. So I don't know how to explain that correctly. If anybody has some answers, please let me know. I'll be happy to share the news. Anyways, I love you guys. God bless you and your families, and I hope I see you in Mark chapter 8. Take care.